They come with the rain. Always with the rain. I've seen them too many times now. I don't know where to hide anymore. Wherever I go, they find me. What do they want? Why do they need me? I don't have answers. But I know one thing with certainty. My fate is sealed. They'll come for me, and they'll catch me. Sooner or later, I'll be too tired to keep running. It all began last May, on an evening like any other. I was walking home from work, exhausted. A spring rain had begun, the kind that's supposed to bring life and relief. But this was different. It was cold, relentless, each drop hitting like an icy arrow. The rain seemed to bend the world, pressing it down in some sort of twisted mockery. All I wanted was to get home, shower, make tea, and put on a movie to lull myself to sleep. But instead, I chose to take a walk through the park. If only I'd known. I was too tired to notice at first. Headphones in, an audiobook playing softly, I walked on the wet stone path. The darkness had deepened around me, a slow suffocation of twilight that clung to the air like a damp cloth. It felt like the world was closing in, but I didn't care. I just wanted a breath of cool air to shake off the fatigue. And then I saw it, movement at the edge of my vision. At first, I thought it was nothing, just a trick of the shadows. But something about it jarred me, sent a jolt of electricity down my spine. I stopped. I turned. There, at the far end of the park, stood a figure. Human-shaped, but something was off. It moved. It danced. The longer I stared, the more I realized how grotesque it was. Its limbs were too long, unnaturally so, and the way it spun, twisted. It was as though some invisible force compelled it to dance with manic abandon. There was something both absurd and terrifying about that dance. I felt the cold chill of fear crawl up my spine. I should have run right then. Instead, I stood frozen, watching the dancer flail wildly, as if it were a puppet with tangled strings. My heart raced, and suddenly, I couldn't bear to look at it any longer. I turned and rushed out of the park, my soaked shoes slapping against the pavement, but I didn't care. I needed to leave, to get away from that cursed place. It felt like the darkness itself was laughing at me, sensing my fear. I didn't stop running until I slammed the door of my apartment shut. For a while, I convinced myself it was a hallucination, a product of exhaustion. Days passed, and I nearly forgot, but the relief didn't last. A week later, it rained again. This time, I was safe indoors, watching the storm through the window. The sound of the rain was oddly soothing until, without meaning to, my eyes drifted to the square below my apartment. And there they were, not just one, but three. They were spinning, twisting, their grotesque limbs flailing in an awful dance. Their laughter. God, I thought I heard laughter through the storm, shrill, insane, like the sound of creatures who've long lost their minds. They seemed almost joyful in their misery, as if their suffering was the only thing left that gave them pleasure. I stumbled back from the window, my pulse racing. But the sound, whether real or imagined, followed me. I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I dreamed of red skies and black earth, and those dancers were there, circling me, dragging me into their madness. In my nightmare, I laughed with them, spinning uncontrollably, helpless to stop myself. When I woke, my throat hurt. I'd been laughing in my sleep. From that day on, they came more frequently, always when it rained. They never approached when others were around, but I knew they were waiting for me to be alone. And each time, they got closer. My nerves frayed. I barely slept. Every creak, every drip of rain sent shivers through me. I couldn't take it anymore. I packed a bag, grabbed the keys to my parents' cottage in the country, and left, hoping to escape. The cottage had always been a refuge, a place where I felt safe. I thought maybe, just maybe, they wouldn't follow me there. But I was wrong. The rain started again as soon as I arrived, and somehow I knew they were near. My walk to the cottage became a mad dash through the fields, with that cursed laughter echoing in my ears. And then I saw them, shadowy figures, gliding beside me, their limbs flailing as they danced and spun. They didn't come closer, but they didn't leave either. Their laughter sliced through the rain like a knife, cutting straight to my soul. I ran, faster than I thought possible, locking myself in the cottage as soon as I reached it. I could still see them through the windows, their broken silhouettes flickering in the distance. I can't escape. I know that now. The laughter is all I hear, their feet pounding the earth in a ceaseless, maddening rhythm. And now, I can feel it, the pull to join them. I've started to move, without meaning to, imitating their awkward steps. I hear them calling me, without words, but with a force that I can't resist. This is my last day. I can feel it. The rain doesn't stop, and neither will they. Soon, I'll be one of them. Maybe it's not so bad. I'll join their dance. The fun never ends.